And welcome to our podcast, Body Talk Fit. I am your host and owner of Body Talk Fit, Noelle.
And I'm your co-host, Diane.
I do want to tell you what Body Talk Fit is.
Body Talk Fit is designed to help the woman enhance her sensual inner and outer self through dance. Body Talk Fit helps boost self-confidence by building appreciation and awareness of your body and how to move it.
This is a fun fitness dance class that will have your booty shaking, your hips swaying, your neck rolling, your confidence boosted, your body glistening from sweat, and your walk more sexy than when you walked in.
Dan, hello.
Hello!
How y'all doing tonight? It is Taco Tuesday. It is 8:30 here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. What time is it in your area? Okay, so if you are tuning in on Facebook, be it on my personal page, the BS3 Network page, my Body Talk Fit business page. Do you have a page?
No, not that's linked on here. But we also have our YouTube.
Do you ever show it? Do you ever share it though on your
I normally just share clips on Instagram.
Okay. Yeah, because you're more Instagrammy. All right. So welcome to our podcast, Body Talk Fit. We created this podcast to show you some the last 20 minutes, some moves and some things like on the pole and the chair and with heels on, but we haven't done that the last few shows. Okay. Tonight's show is called, well, let me introduce myself. My name is Noelle Host. And this is,
I'm your co-host, Diane.
Dirty Diane. I always got to say that. Yeah. Dirty Diane. That's her stage name, by the way. She is a burlesque dancer. So she goes by Dirty Diane. Y'all can catch her where?
At the Nines, the fourth Thursday of each month. So I'll be there this Friday after Thanksgiving. So if you're tired of your family and looking for a place to go, then show up in Deep Ellum at the Nines.
Okay, show them a little bit of a little burlesque back here. So
we're gonna touch our face a little bit. We're gonna swing and just caress.
You want to wear this? You want to wear this in the show?
I think I'll get distracted with it. That's why I can't even really wear sunglasses because how it pinches my nose.
Really?
I hate that. Yeah.
All right. So I wore this. I was who was I for Halloween? I can't even remember. It was some 20s burlesque dancer. So I had this on, and I put this on to do a video. So I just kept it on, y'all. So yeah. Anyway, so this show. Today is about my book that will be released. Hopefully, if things go as planned, my book will be released by the end of the year. Okay. In time for Christmas, so y'all can get that book, for yourself for Christmas or for somebody else. Okay. Now, the book is called The Daughter of the Innocent Man. My story. It was originally called Hello. I'm on Instagram Live too. So it was originally called The Life of an Adoptee because I am adopted. So if you've watched, previous shows, then you will know that I'm adopted. So I originally named this book the Life of an Adoptee, but as things progressed, and because I started writing this book 4 years ago. So when I found out who my father was, my birth father, I just named it The Daughter of the Innocent Man. Now, my birth father was a man who, a Caucasian man who served on death row for almost 12 years for a crime he didn't commit and got exonerated 5 days before his execution date. So there is a book written about his story called The Innocent Man, and a Netflix documentary, The Innocent Man. So y'all go check that out. So I decided to name my book The Daughter of the Innocent Man.
Isn't that cool? It is. I didn't even know about that until you told me that last week.
No?
Yeah.
I thought I told you that story. I don't tell many people. But I guess everybody will know when the book come out, huh?
That's what I was going to say. I was like, did you want to say the name or do you want them to just wait to get the book to read it?
So I wasn't going to say the name of the book, but I decided, hell, why not? Yeah, why not? So
Did you start writing the book prior to you knowing that he was your father, or did you already know?
I
ahead of
did.
time?
I
Okay.
did. I started writing the book earlier that year. So I probably had maybe 2 chapters written. And then when I found out he was my father was later on in the year. And then that's when I changed the name of the book. That's when I changed the name of the book. So last week we talked about, what did we talk about last week?
We talked, it was published authors. So we had our guest.
Self-published authors. And
we had our guest on there. She had her book. What was it?
She had written a book, and she was a self-published author. So what I wanted to do was interview an author who self-published their book, so I can get a more of an idea on how to self-publish mine, because I am going to be a self-published author. And then I wanted to share with the audience on how to go about doing it as well. So last week we had a guest on here. She was remote, so she tuned in via her phone and talked about, how she published on Amazon. So what we are going to do tonight, or what I decided to share with y'all out of my book, is a chapter, is a paragraph from 3 of my chapters. So one paragraph from 3 of my chapters. And then y'all know I'm used to being the interviewer, right? So we have changed seats, okay? I'm not used to being the interviewee, okay?
And I'm not used to being the interviewer. So we're going to see how this goes.
So we just going to go along with this, y'all. Usually we'll type out some questions, but her and I were talking yesterday, and we was like, you know what? We're just going to let it flow, right? Yeah. So let's go back. So if you are tuned into Facebook, whatever page you are tuned into, I think we get comments on my Body Talk Fit page. Is that
it's through wherever you're streaming right now, whether that's through BS3 or Body Talk on Facebook, YouTube, what's the other one? Twitch. Wherever you're streaming right now, you can send us comments, questions. So as Noelle is reading, if you have any questions or any commentary, feel free to put that in the comments. I will be looking during the whole session. So we'll kind of go over those questions or commentary as well. So feel free to put any comments or questions during the whole session.
So the reason I mention that is because there's one, so that we don't see all of the comments that they make at the time. So it's either on my Facebook page, Body Talk Fit, or my personal page. So I'm going to test this right now to tell y'all where to go. So I'm going to send a message through my personal page. That didn't work.
Yep.
Oh, did it work?
Yep.
Okay, so you can go to okay, so you can go to Noelle Daniels. If you are on Instagram Live, or if you are watching under the BS3 network, YouTube or anything. So if you want to comment, ask me a question, and you want me to see it and actually reply right now while we're live, then you would want to go to my Facebook page, which is Noelle Daniels, and we're live on there. Let me go to my Body Talk Fit page. I think it may be the Body Talk Fit page that we're not getting. This is weird. Okay, so let's see. It shows as live. It shows me live. Hold on. Okay. Ooh. Y'all, I don't know about y'all, but baby, this time change got me all messed up, okay? I've been in the bed by 8:00 p.m., honey, for the last week, and I really have enjoyed it. And I've been waking up at 7, which normally I don't wake up till noon. But I've been waking up at 7 a.m. and going to bed by 9, being in bed by 8. And I'm just loving it, okay? Okay. So we are getting replies from my personal page and Body Talk Fit page. So again, if you are wanting to ask a question, comment, and you want us to reply live, go to either one of those. My Body Talk Fit, not Instagram, my Body Talk Fit, the Facebook page. Thank you, baby. And Noelle Daniels So I am, let's see. How many chapters do I have in this book? So let me tell y'all that I finished this book about 3 months ago. And I felt there was something missing. I felt like I wasn't complete with this book. That's why I haven't published it. I just felt like something was missing. And y'all, I was talking to my youngest son, which is 16. Okay. Very smart, bright kid, right? He says, Mom, if you are not ready to release it, don't. Make sure you are ready. Make sure you have everything in the book. And I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
I said, boy. I said, really?
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay. So I started thinking, I was like, there's a piece in this book missing. I don't know what it is. Okay, maybe I can add to these chapters. But I was like, okay. So I went through the book, like read it over and over and over and over within the last 3 months, right? And I've added to the chapters, but I'm like, it's still something missing.
Mm-hmm.
So just this morning, well, let me tell you, I quit drinking. Okay. I quit drinking. It was something that I needed to do. And that's in the book as well. Okay. Just this morning, I wrote this last chapter, the piece that was missing. A piece is peace, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's what I was missing. This last chapter, and I finished it today, y'all. I started this morning, finished it today.
Yay.
Actually, I just finished it before she walked in the studio doors. Okay. I had to take a break throughout the day because I had private sessions, but my mind was going and going and going and going. And I was like, okay, what is it that I can say that's going to finish this book for me to actually release it? So this last chapter is called Finding Peace and Stability. Man, that's the strongest chapter. Okay. But it's not the most interesting chapter. Okay. The most interesting chapter in my book is called Stripper Life. Okay. I don't know if you know, but yes, I used to be a stripper, entertainer, whatever you want to call it. Okay. That I was. So I have, how many chapters do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have, I think, 11 chapters. And what do I want to read? So I told you I was going to read a paragraph from each chapter. Now, I don't want to tell them the names of the chapters, do I?
You don't have to.
No.
You can just kind of read a few sentences or a sentence from whichever ones you want to. And that way it kind of leaves some curiosity because you guys have to buy the book in order to know her whole life.
Right, okay? right. Go ahead, girl. Sell that book, girl. Sell that book. Oh, all right. So let's see. Let's see what I'm going to read first. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to read the first paragraph in the chapter Stripper Life. Y'all ready for that?
I'm ready.
Okay. Now remember, y'all can ask questions if y'all want to know something. That don't mean I'm going to answer it, okay? No, actually, you know what? I'm going to read the first chapter right now, Finding My Birth Mother. Only the first chapter, okay? And then you're going to go off this first chapter. At the time of my adoption, Oklahoma was a closed adoption state. I was born in Oklahoma, Ada, Oklahoma, and raised in Oklahoma City, okay? So I'm going to go back. At the time of my adoption, Oklahoma was a closed adoption state, meaning identifying information on the birth parents and my original birth certificate were sealed. When the birth mother turns over her rights of the newborn, there is absolutely no contact between the birth parents, adoptive parents, and the child after the adoption takes place. In Oklahoma, records can be non-identifying or identifying if the birth mother consents to her identity being released or a court order is established. Then the adoptive child can find out the identifying information on the birth mother.
Okay. So in that case, so you're saying that unless it was court ordered or the birth mother wants to basically be found, then in that case is what I'm understanding is then when it can be open and you can find her.
Right. So yeah.
So how, like, when did you, by finding your birth mother, were you informed that she how did that come to place? Were you already looking for her and just kind of hoping that those records were going to be open one day, or were you notified that, hey, if you're curious to know who your mother is, like she wants to know you too, or was it a court ordered?
It wasn't court ordered. So I had always wanted to find out my birth parents, find my birth mother per se, right? So when I turned, and this is in my book too, I'm not going to say too much, but when I had my oldest son right at 20. So when he was born, he had a lot of complications when he was born. So I didn't have any type of medical history on myself, therefore I couldn't tell the doctors, because when they would ask, okay, what runs in your family? I had no clue. I had no clue what ran in my family. I didn't know what diseases ran in my family, because my oldest son had to have surgery at 5 months old. You know what I'm saying? So he may have been, it was 3 to 5 months old. They had to cut his stomach open, and it was as a 20-year-old young parent, it was devastating to, have your newborn like that and have no answers. Right. Mm-hmm. So, I called the Department of Human Services in Oklahoma and wanted health records, right? On my birth, parents or whatever. And they was like, well, Oklahoma's a closed adoption state. So everything was sealed, So they said, what you can do is fill out this form and send it in, and we'll send you everything that we have, non-identifying information on your birth parents. And you go from there, basically, right? Mm-hmm. So they, back then, because I'm almost 45, AOL, right? We talked about this, right? Right? I didn't have a printer. I just had one of them big old computers that was boxed. Okay. I didn't have a printer. I had just bought this computer at my house. Okay. So they mailed me a form for me to fill out, and I mailed it back in. Months later, they sent me and I got to go through all of my stuff to find this stuff. I may include that in the book. I don't know.
You might want to write that down.
Girl, right. Hold on, where's my piece of paper? Because she know that I like to write stuff down, because if I don't write it down, then I'll forget. Hold up. Actually, will you go give me a piece of paper?
Yeah.
Maybe on the printer. One of my pens. Thank you. Okay, so I wrote the state of Oklahoma. So I filled out the form, mailed it back in. And months later, they sent me an envelope, right? It said in the corner, Department of Human Services from Oklahoma, right? So in this envelope, it was about 3 pages of non-identifying information. Now, it was so much information in this envelope that I would say was identifying, because it was so easy to find her. I'd be thinking I'm a FBI agent, So I was born in a small town. In this non-identifying information, it listed my mother as a graceful, tall, 5'8", slender, dark-skinned woman. Of African American. It says she worked at a cleaners. It had her last name. Yeah, it said my father was he was a sheriff in the state of Colorado. I mean, it had a lot of information in this 3-page letter that, I just picked up the phone book, because at the time, you couldn't get online and look up stuff like that. So I grabbed the white pages, right? And I called all of the last name that I was provided in that 3-piece paper in the envelope. I called everybody in the town of Ada, Oklahoma, with that last name. And they said, I know who your mother is, probably by that 4th call. Mm-hmm. So she calls months later and says, hey, I think I'm your mother and you looking for me. And it went from there.
Mm-hmm.
It went from there.
That's nice that she called you back, because she didn't have to.
Right. And not all stories are like that.
Yeah.
All of the adoptees that I've helped find their birth parents, or, try to help find their birth parents, I always tell them, you have to be prepared, hope for the best, but be prepared for the worst, because not all stories end like that. You know what I'm saying? She was very accepting. The family knew about me. everybody in the family knew about me on her side.
Yeah.
They all knew that she had this child that she gave up for adoption.
Mhm.
So yeah. Also in my book, let me go back. So when I say that, you know, every adoptee that I've helped or have tried to help find their birth parents, I interviewed 7 adoptees that I know from growing up, right? I sent them all the same 10 questions. And I have a chapter in my book. I'm not going to tell you what the chapter is, but I'm going to tell you briefly about it, right? So I sent them all the same 10 questions and interviewed them, and they sent their answers back. So that chapter is in my book as well. So everybody's story is different that I interviewed. Everybody's story is different. That's the beautiful thing about it, but it's kind of sad in a way. Because not all stories end like mine. You know what I'm saying? So I found my birth mother when my son was when I was 20, 21, 22. My son was, I think, 2 by that time. Because I was living in Houston. Because I remember flying out from Houston to Colorado, because she was living in Colorado at the time. And I remember flying out to see her and, you know, being introduced to the family. So, yeah. Any questions? Do we have any questions?
We just have
good evening. Hey, Ben. Hey,
good
Ben.
evening. Hi,
Ben. Is Ben, he's tuned in?
Huh? Well, I just showed his message.
Oh, okay. Hey, Ben. Hey, King Doc. So those 2 are from the BS3 network. Those are the ones that has given us this great opportunity to be on their network for this podcast. So I thank you. Much love to y'all. We love you. We love you. Shout out to Ben and King Doc. Yes. They also have their own podcast. So if you ever want to, find out, you know, what type of podcast we have on the BS3 network, you can go to YouTube, research BS3 network. We're also on Roku. Mm-hmm. You said something, Twitch.
Yeah.
We on Twitch?
Mm-hmm.
What's Twitch?
Twitch, it's like a vlogging, gaming. It's pretty much like video.
You seeing us on Twitch?
Huh? Yeah, because remember that one time, that one person that kept sending us messages, it was on Twitch is what the icon was.
Baby, I didn't even know, okay? I don't even know what Twitch is. She know all this stuff. She's the younger generation. What you are? Millennial?
A millennial.
Generation X. Hold on. We had this show. We did this show too, yeah, about our generations, right?
So if this is your first time tuning in, then you can always go back and watch our previous episodes as well.
And they can find us where?
You can find us on Roku, on the BS3 TV network. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter,
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of the,
Yeah, and you can look at both searching Body Talk Fit or BS3 TV, and then, of course, BS3 TVLive.com. That's their website. So you can
look at you, be knowing everything, okay?
I mean, if it's marketing, then I know.
Cool beans.
So to kind of piggyback on that, it's just crazy whenever you mention the phone book, because I'm not going to say who, because I don't know if they want their story to be told, but
just don't say no names.
Yeah. But I knew someone where she was raised by her father, and like whenever we were younger, like she, like her mother wasn't in her life, but she heard the family, you know, talking about the mother before, so she knew her mother's name. But I think it was like, maybe she was in pre-K or whenever she started first learning how to read, she took the phone book and she was just curious because that's the first time we see our names and anything. It's like the phone book. So she was just looking at the phone book and then she noticed a name that she thought it might have been her mom. So she called that number. A woman picked up and she was like, "Hey, I think you're my mom." And then like that week she came and picked her up and talked to the dad to say like, "Hey, you know, we can kind of have split custody." And then she ended up actually living with her mother for the longest time. Yeah. And then just like saw her dad on weekends, or her dad would still pick her up and like after school, and they were both involved in her life. So that was a good story. I don't know what happened before that as far as like why the mother wasn't in the life, but now they're both in her life. So, yes.
Wow. If you're just now joining us, we are talking about my book that's hopefully going to be released, if God says so, by the end of the year. Again, I am self-publishing this book. I haven't found a publisher yet. Actually, I haven't really started looking for a publisher, because if I self-publish my book, I can still get a publisher. Did y'all know that? Yeah, because you own all rights to your book. Okay, so I have already read one paragraph from a chapter in my book, and that was finding my birth mother, right?
Before we skip, what was that you wanted?
Girl, I don't know. Dang, what was it?
It was whenever you were talking about the non-identifiable information. So I don't know if you said you added that in your book or not.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so I have to find. Okay,
because you said it seemed like it was very identifiable based on
right non-identifying information.
So basically, the only thing they left out is the first name. Then,
girl, it's crazy.
I would think they would tell you the first name and not the last name, because then I feel like everyone's name is like John or something.
Well, okay, so let me go back. So when I was younger, around the age of 5, I think that's when I found out I was adopted, because I didn't look like my parent, my mom and dad, 2 African Americans. And they adopted 3 mixed kids, right? So my mom, I always asked my mom, I said, you and my dad is black. Why did y'all adopt 3 mixed kids? And her reply was, quote, by word for word, because I wanted all of y'all to look alike. Girl, what? I said, Mama, that don't make no sense.
You're like, but we aren't siblings.
And the crazy thing is, so in my adoptive family, I have an older sister and a younger brother who are mixed as well, but we all come from 3 different families. And I've said this in previous podcasts. We all come from different families. My sister's from Arkansas. I'm from Ada, Oklahoma. My brother's from Tulsa. Okay. So we're not blood related, but we kind of look alike because we all mixed. If that makes sense. So I think me and my brother look more alike. My sister, she's she light skinned. I'm caramel. Me and my brother more caramel. Okay. Okay. So I wrote that down. Okay.
I don't think I knew that either.
What?
That all 3 of y'all were all adopted.
Yeah. My mom couldn't have kids.
Yeah.
So she adopted 3 mixed kids. Yeah. Okay, so that was only one paragraph in finding my birth mother, right? So, okay, so I'm going to read y'all another paragraph. Okay, now this paragraph is from the chapter, The Quest for Love, Fear, Pain, and Healing. Ooh, okay. First paragraph goes like this. I have been on this journey all my life to fill this gap, a void of really feeling loved, appreciated, and wanted. Something I thought I had been missing my entire life, something that I wanted, something that I longed for, something that I needed. The feeling of being adored, admired, cherished, and loved, kind of like the experience a baby goes through when first born. That's all you get from that chapter, y'all. That's all you get. That's all you get is the first paragraph.
So do you feel, well, how old were you when you realized that you were adopted?
So I was about 5 when I found out. And all of my life I've felt like I wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel that way, but I'm not adopted. You know?
I've always felt like I wasn't good enough, and I had a guest on the show, the show before last. We talked about this too, because it was the show was about it being adopted. So her and I touched on this. We didn't really get to go in detail of what we really wanted to talk about. We ran out in time. We trying to make a part 2. Miss Jackie, if you're watching it, Jacqueline, Okay, we still need to make a part 2 on, that. So yeah, I always had this feeling of like, I wasn't good enough, or, I'm not loved, even though I was adopted by a family that loved me.
Mm-hmm.
They really loved me. But I always had this feeling, that maybe I wasn't good enough and I wasn't loved because my mother didn't keep me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think every adoptee feels, well, not every adoptee, because the 7 adoptees that I interviewed, probably a third of them felt that way. They said that they didn't feel that way because they felt loved in their adoptive family, right? So you can have one piece missing, not feeling like you were loved or, good enough, because you were given up for adoption, right? But then, hey, I've been adopted. I've been, adopted by this loving family. So therefore, hey, that replaces like the longing for love, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or
I guess, but it's totally valid that you feel the way you feel. But yeah, I could see that where if you're adopted as a baby, then that's the love that you know. So they never really thought about the other family. But I guess that just depends on who you are and how your mind works, right?
Right.
So then there's the people who just think, well, I was a blessing to this family and they love me, and that's the only love I know. That's the only love I cared about because I grew up in a loving home. But then there's also, even if you grew up in a loving home, to have been given up for adoption, then there's that, like, why?
Right.
Why was that, why?
Right.
And then especially maybe for you, since you said like her whole family, like her side of the family knew about it, then maybe it's like, why didn't someone from the family adopt me if she couldn't keep? Because I have that in my family where someone, like they had the baby young, so the child didn't want, like, still wanted to go on with her life, but the family was like, well, this is still our blood, so one of the other family members adopted them, so they're still with our family, and quote unquote who the mother is on paper. Right. But as far as that, like, how did you ever find that, fill that void? Is that something that you had to
I think I'm still searching.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm still searching, but I have to know, hey, you know what? I am loved. You know what I'm saying? And hey, to appreciate the love that I have, the people that I have in my life, you know what I'm saying? Even though, hey, as a kid, you were given up for adoption, and just finding my birth father too, and finding out about that side of the family. Mm-hmm. Hey, Glenn, good conversation. And just finding out about that family, and he's Caucasian, right? So just finding out about that and his family not wanting me. You know what I'm saying? They, they want nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? And one of my cousins said, hey, because you're Black. That's one of the reasons. You know what I'm saying? So, it's crazy.
When did you find out about that or hear about that?
My birth father? So,
of like his family not wanting anything to do.
So I found out who my birth father was in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
In 2018, I did Ancestry.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll find more about that in my book. I did Ancestry, hired the genealogy team at the Ancestry, confirmed it with my first cousins on my dad's side. Hey, Michelle Rice, how you doing, girlfriend? Michelle Rice tuning in from Oklahoma City. Thanks, Glenn. Good combo. You didn't say combo, but I'm saying conversation. Conversation. So if you're just now tuning in, we are talking about my book, which is called The Daughter of the Innocent Man. And the reason I named that book is because the story of my father, the book is called The Innocent Man. And there's a book out and there's a Netflix documentary out, The Innocent Man. So y'all go check that out. Oh, okay. Oh, where the baby? Go get the baby. Have y'all noticed it always be in them little small towns? Have you noticed it? Them Amber Alerts, like the little small towns. Like, what do people be doing? Take them babies back to their mom and daddy. And it always be a domestic,
Mm-hmm.
Don't include the child, okay? actually, and I was talking to a friend last week, right? So, I don't know if y'all are aware, but I'm self-publishing, and I was talking to a friend last week. I added another chapter today, and now I'm finished. I was talking to a friend last week, and he was like, "Why don't you do a GoFundMe?"
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "I'm not doing a GoFundMe."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "That's kind of like begging for money, right?" I thought it was like, my pride was like, I'm not doing no GoFundMe, but I have to say that I did create a GoFundMe. I am self-published in this book, and I'm hoping to have this out by the end of the year. There's attorney fees that's going to be that I have to pay, because this is it's a legality thing, right, with this book. So there's attorney fees I have to pay, of course, editing fees. I'm submitting to the editor on Monday, editing fees, and then I want to have a book signing. So I want to get a good number of books ordered. So I did create a GoFundMe account. If you donate at least $20, then you will get a free book with my autograph.
What's your link? So let me put in.
Okay, so we are actually including the link to the GoFundMe. I sent it to you. Email.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, I sent it to you. Email. So the GoFundMe, if you read the GoFundMe description on there, it's going to tell you a little bit about my book, what the fees are, what the GoFundMe is going to be used for, and then a little bit about my story on why I named it The Daughter of the Innocent Man, and who my birth father is. So yeah. So we're including the link to my GoFundMe, and that is to help self-publish this book that I want out by Christmas. So I hope y'all can donate, can contribute to that GoFundMe. Like I said, if you donate at least $20, then you get a free autographed book from me. My plan is to have my book signing in the middle of next month. Okay. Okay. So I've already read 2 paragraphs from 2 different chapters. Now we getting on the stripper life, baby. Okay. Okay. The most interesting chapter in my book. It's called Stripper Life. STRIPPALYFE. Stripper Life. Okay. It's raw and uncut, baby. And that's the name of the title of the name of the title is Stripper Life, Raw and Uncut. Okay. Ooh, I hope my kids don't get mad at me.
I'm sitting back for this one.
Ooh, child, hold up now. Ooh, Lord, hold on. Let me go to this chapter, y'all. Okay. I want to read y'all the chapter where it's not telling you too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I may read y'all 2 paragraphs. Oh, because baby, that chapter juicy, honey. Okay. Ew. Okay, there's one chapter. Ew, there's another chapter. Okay, in this book, it also talks about mental health, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I was diagnosed with 2 mental health. Anyway, so it also talks about mental health. So the idea of this book was to help adoptees, okay, people who have been in the system, to help them feel, to let them know they are loved, wanted, cherished, and admired, So that was the point of me writing this book. But when I found out who my birth father was, I switched it up. I still have that in there, right? But I've added a touch of the daughter of the innocent man and more about that, right? And finding my birth father and all that good stuff, right?
Shell said, only read 2 juicy lines.
Because, baby, they need to pay. I know that's right, girl. Won't he do it? Stripper Life, Raw and Uncut. Oh. The first chapter is long, but I'm going to read it. You ready? Y'all ready for this? Stripper Life, Raw and Uncut. Okay. It only tell you a little bit, okay? After I graduated high school, I was uncertain of what was to come next. Mostly all of my friends went to college right after high school, but I had no interest in attending another 4 years of school. Y'all, I hated school. Oh, I hated school. That's not in the book, that part, right? Okay. All I wanted to do was be on the runway. I wanted bright lights, fashion, and city life. I really wanted to go to Paris, France. I took a part-time job as a maid at a big hotel chain in Oklahoma City. I cleaned hotel rooms and hated it. It was not me. I wanted more out of life. I wanted someone cleaning for me. Hello?
Mhm.
Okay. After high school, my best friend moved back up to Maryland with her parents. Her parents were in the Army. She kept asking me to move there with her. Maryland was far. I knew nothing about the state, had no family there, and was the only person I knew. And the only person I knew who lived there was her. It did not take long for me to say yes. I was trying to figure out how I was going to move. I was only 17 years old. This is not in the book, but I was 17 when I graduated high school, and my mama kicked me out before I even graduated high school. Anyway, but I knew I wanted to get away from the city. It was nothing there for me. My friend bought me a one-way bus ticket to Baltimore, Maryland. I quit my maid job at the hotel, packed a suitcase with everything that I could fit in it, and got on that Greyhound bus.
Was that part in the book then when you mentioned your mother kicked you out before you graduated high school?
Yeah, that's
Is that part?
Yeah,
okay.
That's in growing up.
Okay.
I think that's in that chapter.
Mm-hmm. Okay. See, and so y'all need to get the book to hear that part.
Yeah, I think that's in that chapter. You know how you want to be grown, you know. You're fighting with your mama, you know. She wants you to do one thing, you want to do the next, you know, you fast. Was you fast?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I mean, but no, like same thing for me. Well, for me, whenever I was in high school, it was my senior year. I wasn't living with my parents because same thing. I butted head with my mom. Like I think we were too much alike, and like we butted head all the time. In my senior year, I ended up just going to live with my aunt and uncle. But I knew I needed to finish school, so I still like drove to school and stuff every day just so that I can graduate.
Oh wow.
But yeah, no, I get the whole mother-daughter
yeah.
relationship.
Girl, oh my goodness.
That's part of the reason why I said I didn't want kids, because I was like, I know I'm gonna just end up getting a girl and it's gonna, karma is gonna come.
Karma gonna be real, girl. My mama used to tell me all the time, I can't wait till you have kids. I can't wait till you have kids. I was like, my kids ain't gonna be nothing like. Oh my goodness. So I mentioned I wanted to be on the. I mentioned in this paragraph that I wanted to be on the runway because in high school, I went to a modeling school. This is in my book too. I went to a modeling school in high school, graduated, helped teach. Actually, I was 15? I was 15 when I went to modeling school. It was a modeling school in Oklahoma City. And then I actually used to skip school sometimes to do runway shows in Oklahoma City during the day. Ruth Myers, she was one of the top designers in Oklahoma City, and I was her only black model, her only youngest model, and the shortest model. Thank you. Hello. Okay. So I would be like, it would be like 20 girls like in a runway show. I was the shortest, the only black, and the youngest. Baby, I used to run that runway, honey. Okay. When I was 16, I came to Dallas. Mm-hmm. I came to Dallas when I was 16 for the Mike Beatty fashion and runway show. Won second place out of 600 girls. Okay, female fashion runway model. Sure did. I didn't get signed though. I didn't get signed by a top modeling agency because they said I was too short. But I won second place out of 600 girls. But so I was ecstatic on that. You know what I'm saying? Right. I was like, okay, put me in some 7-inch heels. I'll be good. But you had to be 5'9" without heels, and I was like 5'7.5". But yeah. So I went to Baltimore, Maryland, hoping that I was gonna model, right? It ended up doing something else. Y'all gonna read that in the book too, baby. Oh shit.
So I can understand at 17, when we're 17, we already think we're more grown than we already are. So I get the whole leaving, even though you didn't think about how you can pay the bill.
Girl, I didn't even tell my mama. I didn't even tell my mama I was leaving. I think I left in July, and my birthday was in August, and I was turning 18 in August. Yeah, I think I left in July before I even turned 18. And she had already kicked me out the house. I was living with a friend's cousin. Yeah, working at a hotel as a maid. I was like, no, this is not what I want.
Right.
I want somebody cleaning and making up my bed. You know, I don't want to be making up nobody's bed. So I was like, F this.
Y'all left her away.
I sure do, girl. Shell, you pretty tired yourself. Baby, I be throwing that 5'7" and a half, honey. Okay. That 5'7" and a half. I used to try to lie and say I was 5'8". Oh, that didn't work. Now when they put me up against the wall and they measured me, they was like, no, baby, you're 5'7" and a half.
Let me poof up this hair though.
Hold on, I was down on my hold on. This is what I would do, y'all. Hold on, I got on fishnet. Sorry. I was teaching early. Okay, so this is what I would do. Can you see? You can't even see my heels, can you? Okay, so I would stand on the back of the wall, right, while I was measuring me, and I would stand on my tippy toes with my heels up, okay? All right? Trying to stand nice and tall, right? And you try to elongate yourself. They be like, can you flatten? I was like, damn. So I went to when I arrived in Baltimore. Well, we stayed in Columbia, Maryland. We stayed in Columbia, Maryland, which is in between DC and Baltimore, right? And I would be in Virginia all the time. When I got up there, turned 18, her parents bought me a brand new car, y'all. So, and then that's when I was doing something I shouldn't have been doing. I was making about $2,000-$3,000 a week at 18, okay? You'll read that in my book too, okay? Stripper Life, raw and uncut. That's what that is.
5'10" and a half.
Dang, girl, you 5'10" and a half? You ain't no half. Shut up, girl.
So, hold on. Okay, so you said you got on the Greyhound bus with your friend. Y'all been talking.
No. She was already living there.
Yeah.
She had bought me a one-way ticket, right?
Yeah. So before you went over there, did you already talk about like you living with her and her family?
Yeah. So I lived with her. Yeah, I lived with her and her family. They had a townhouse, and up north they got they have basements, and the whole basement was decked out, girl. It was her whole a whole apartment downstairs. So we stayed down there, girl. Two twin beds, girl. She had one. We had a closet, honey. We had a bathroom down there. Yeah. So I had already had a place to stay.
Did y'all tell you about like what y'all were gonna do as far as work whenever you lived there, or did you just only had in your mind that you were just gonna be on the runway?
You know what? I said, when I'm getting out of Oklahoma City, there's nothing for me. So I left. I ain't had nothing but my clothes, okay? I may have had $100.
Clothes and your dreams.
Clothes and dreams, baby. Clothes and dreams. And a passion, honey. That's all I had. That's all I had. I started going to grab that phone book, started going, had my portfolio, because I always took my portfolio because I had a collage of pictures, professional runway pictures, right, that I had taken from being in modeling school. So girl, yeah, I would go to I probably went to 3 different agencies, and of course they all said I was too short, but that didn't stop me.
Did your friend want to be a model as well?
Girl, no.
Oh,
she wasn't model material.
She just thought you had better opportunities up north.
Yeah. I thought so.
Yeah.
And then I read in the newspaper hiring models. So I went with my portfolio, honey. It wasn't nothing about no model, baby. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
It was models, but a different type of model.
Girl, that reminds me of the episode of Tia or Sister when Tia and Tamara went to the
It was probably that. I haven't seen that episode. But yeah. Anyway, I started working there, y'all. Okay. I still had to wear heels, okay? And prance around. Okay. That was the beginning of my stripper life. Even though I wasn't a stripper in Maryland, I did something else. But y'all will read that in the book, okay? Raw and uncut, okay? No judgment. And if you do, who cares? At least I was getting paid.
Right. How long were you in Maryland?
Oh, 5 months.
5 months.
5 months, and then then I moved to Dallas.
What made you move from Maryland to Dallas?
Because my family found out what I was doing, and they came up there and got me.
Okay.
You'll read that in the book.
Now I want to know what she did. Even though the imagination leads me somewhere, I want to see it in black and white on those pages.
Raw and uncut. Okay, Stripper Life.
So when is this book coming out? Before Christmas,
Before Christmas, yeah. I'm hoping to have this book released by Christmas and have a book signing by Christmas. Again, I have created a GoFundMe since I'm a self-publisher. Okay, I don't see it as begging. I see it as having my
that's support.
Support, right? So if you've supported me throughout all of these years, and y'all keep saying, hey, I can't wait to read your book. If you donate or contribute at least $20, you get a signed autographed copy of my book for free. Okay. If you want to donate $5, whatever you can donate. That's gonna help me self-publish this book. Okay.
I don't even see that as begging. I see that as you going ahead and buying the book ahead of time and getting a free autograph.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But y'all just helping me get to pay this lawyer, get this editing done, and ordering 100 copies. That's what y'all doing.
You're just pre-purchasing the book and getting it autographed.
Girl, hello.
That will be worth something more later.
So that's all you're doing is
pre-purchasing.
Pre-purchasing the book. Yeah. Because it sounds juicy. That's enough. Let them pay. That's enough. I'm not telling y'all no more about my stripper life. Okay. I do have 11 chapters. Okay. I just finished that. There was a piece missing from this book. The last 3 months I've been trying to figure it out. And it came to me this morning in the shower as I was showering. And I was like, this is what's missing. A piece is peace. So this last chapter that I wrote today, finished it today, y'all, is finding peace and stability. And ever since I quit drinking, all praises to God, because it was getting bad, okay? Ever since I stopped drinking, I have found peace and stability, okay? So if you are going through something, okay, whether it's personal, drugs, alcohol, and that's what you turn into to cope, because that's what I was turning to cope, was alcohol. Just go, and sometimes drugs. I'm gonna keep it real, okay? You'll read that shit in my book too, okay? So if you have turned to something to try to help you cope and to mask something, because that's what I was doing. I was masking pain, right? And I was like, okay, am I gonna say this part? I'm gonna keep it raw. I'm gonna keep it real. Yeah, I was trying to mask pain with drugs and alcohol, and it wasn't doing it, right? So I got to a point, a couple of weeks ago, where hey, I just had to quit. And I ain't even smelled alcohol, baby. I got a bottle over there. Okay, I ain't touched. I come in here every day and look at it, be like, okay, y'all, and I'll continue to offer my clients a shot if they want it. A little bit of shot to get them loose. And you know what? I served clients earlier today. Wasn't even thinking about drinking.
Oh, that's so
when
good.
I needed a baby, you would come in here and I'd be like, hey, you ready for your shot? Baby, I would have 3 bottles up there, okay, ready to go. And we'd be drinking that tequila. After one drink, she'd be like, oh, I can't do no more. I'm like, I took 3, 4, 5 more shots and I'm good, right? I'm functioning.
Like, is it hot? It's hot in here.
I was a functioning alcoholic. And I'm like, damn, for how many years was I a functioning alcoholic?
How long has it been since you stopped drinking?
It's been 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Okay.
It's been 2 weeks. Cash App, I sure do take Cash App, Shell. Cash App is Body Talk Fit 1640. Well, I haven't created a Cash App for my for the book, but if you want to Cash App my if you want to Cash App my my business, I'll use it for that. Just put in the notes for book, right? And she Miss Diane is Body Talk 1614. Yeah. Cash App is Body Talk Fit 1614 if y'all want to send donations for that book. If you donate at least $20, you get a free signed autograph copy, okay? Again, I just read 3 paragraphs from 3 different chapters from my book. The title is so Finding My Birth Father. Ooh, I kind of wanted to touch on that because excuse me, I'm sorry. Y'all, I've been drinking this all damn day long and coffee, right? This is what I have to do now since I don't drink alcohol. I got to drink something. I done turned girl to chocolate. I'm eating chocolate all damn day long. I'm like, damn, it's better than alcohol, But I tell you, my life is much more peaceful. I promise you it is.
Did you feel a sense of like relief? Like once you had that thought in your head this morning, did you finally feel like okay, now my book is complete. And
Yes.
because I know for a while you kept saying like you want to publish it, but you feel like there's more and you don't know what it is.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I've told you that many a times, and I've talked to a good friend of mine about that. And then of course my son, I did like this morning when I was taking a shower. And I just been, hey, God has been, blessing me with so many things, and where I can really focus, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
All praise to the high power. Just to have me focus. Okay, what is it? What is it? What is it that's not finished? What is it that you need? What is it? What is it? What is it that's needed to get this book out, right? Because it's been 4 years in the making. I started 18, 19, 20, 22. Shit, 5. Ooh, child. 5 years in the making, okay? 5 years that I started on this book. It's past time. Of course, I had, doubts of myself. Of course, I had, thoughts and feelings of, hey, people gonna judge me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't care about that no more. You know what I'm saying? And hey, I want to tell my story. And plus, people need to know who I am. Okay. Because, so when the Netflix documentary came out, on my father's story, The Innocent Man, I contacted the Netflix producer, and she was like, she emailed me. She said, "Can I come interview you?" I said, "No." I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I was like, "No, no, you can't. No, I'm not ready for that." So, I've had to hire a lawyer to release this book, and he says, be ready. Be ready for anything. Anything is possible with this book that could happen, because it's going to get attention, because your father's book is called The Innocent Man. And I haven't been ready. I haven't been ready. I haven't been ready for the publicity, I guess. I haven't been ready for, the backlash, all of everybody coming for me. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I just got to put it in God's hands. You know what I'm saying? I have to put it in God's hands and say, hey, it's your time, girl. Tell your story. I mean, you don't know how many, because I write about so much that has happened throughout my life that may help somebody else, you know? So it's not about just telling my side of who my father was. It's about telling my story and how being adopted can help another adoptee, or my story and what I've gone through can help someone that's going through trauma and trials and tribulations and things that I've gone through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because the chapter, that's just a chapter, is your father, but the book itself is about you and your experience at its entirety.
Right.
And like you said, like that's part of the things that you said you wanted to do. Like one of the big goals that you had in life was like some type of nonprofit or something to help adoptees, to help like the less fortunate. Yes, girl. Because that's your real goal in life. And I think this is a beginning, a step towards that. Like once your book is released and others finding it as being helpful, or, not feeling alone when they hear or read someone else's story that may have some similarities to them. Like,
right.
I think that's what a lot of people just need, is just to know that what they're going through is not something that they're having to go through alone. And then also to hear that someone kind of can overcome some of those things, that gives them hope. And that's what everyone needs, is just a little sight of hope and glimmer whenever they're in their darkness.
Hope and glimmer. Hope and glimmer. And to know that you can come out bigger and better.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have some people on Instagram that's asking, what's the link to my GoFundMe? If you head over to my Facebook page, that would be Body Talk Fit, or my personal page, Noelle Daniels, then you can find the link in the comments. I haven't really figured out how to do this IG thing. She just really teaching me.
Well, I was going to say, after...
She just really... I didn't even know I could post it.
Yeah. So after we finish live, then she can put the GoFundMe link in her post. So just go into the comment section after the feed is posted.
You're going to have to do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
But thank you
that's
all.
that millennial. That's that millennial, I tell you, okay?
Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm so excited for your book. Just like hearing little pieces of it. Like I know you tell me like here and there, but we don't really go much into detail of like all of your life or everything that you've gone through. So I'm excited to read the book. I hope y'all are too.
Yes,
are you
Shell.
gonna-
Yes, Shell. Cash App is in the comments page too.
Yes.
If you want to Cash App instead of GoFundMe.
Yeah.
So again, if you donate or contribute at least $20, you get a free signed autographed copy of my book. But all donations are going towards the self-publishing, all these self-publishing fees that I have to pay.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what platforms you'll have your book in yet?
So I'm still debating. I'm self-publishing on Amazon, but I can go through BookBaby, which we briefly talked about last week with the self-published author that we had online. Because if I go with BookBaby, it's going to cost a little bit more. But from what I've read, because I've ordered the information and to go over all of that to see what my options are, right? So with that, it's like I can have it printed in like Walmart. It can be available in Barnes and Noble and stuff like that. So I don't know if I'm going to go with that or KDP, but it's definitely going to be on Amazon. I'm definitely going to have a book signing next month. So I'm hoping to have this book out by Christmas. I am going to have this book out by Christmas.
Yes.
Okay. I am going to have a book signing, and I'm putting it in the universe. I believe if you put it in the universe, then it's going to come.
Yes.
Okay. So again, thank y'all for tuning in. The name of my book is The Innocent Man, and I'm hoping to have you send a copy to Oprah. I am Shell Girl. So thank you for tuning in, and hopefully you can get a copy of my book. If you are just now tuning in, you can go back and watch this episode, Facebook Live, Roku, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Apple and Spotify, girl, Twitter,
Twitch,
just Twitch, girl, you and that dang Twitch still don't know what it is, okay? But either type in Body Talk Fit or type in BS3 Network. We're on the BS3 Network. I thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. Next week, tune in at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have a guest on there that's coming into the studio. It's going to be an exciting show. Again, thank you, Noelle, Diane. Peace out.
Bye.